Hi there, I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim, and we are
A Tea of Your Own. Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated.
Woo! Yay! Beautiful weekend.
Yes.
At least
Well, part of it, yes.
Sunday was.
Yes, Sunday was nice.
Yeah.
Saturday, not so much.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to everybody. A Mother's Day weekend, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was fun.
Yeah.
Got to go see Fort Necessity.
Yes, finally checked that off our list of things to go see.
Yes, and
Only took us 20 years to get there.
yeah. While we were at Fort Necessity, we learned more about George Washington.
Yes.
And the younger George Washington.
Yes.
Because he was 22.
He was 22 at the time. That is correct.
When they built Fort Necessity. Learned a lot about him, and that he was not the military genius when he was 22.
No.
No.
No. Made a big mistake.
Yeah. And so one of the things that it reminded you of was influence.
Yes.
And this week we're going to talk about some of our speaking topics, and one of them is about influence.
Yes.
It's we talk about the topic of influence and how small changes you make can give you big results.
Right.
And we learned a little bit about the influence that, I guess, was he a colonel back then?
I don't remember what.
I don't know, but that George Washington had when he was younger, and he did not have nearly as much influence then as he did as he got older.
Right. And part of that is he hadn't really proven himself, and with the whole situation at Fort Necessity, he made some mistakes.
Yes.
But the way that he increased his influence is he learned from those mistakes, and he didn't do that again. He made different mistakes later on.
Yes. Yes, he did.
But in the end, he finally emerged victorious.
Yes.
And we're all the better for it.
Yes. So when it comes to talking about this topic, when it comes to influence, and small changes can give you big results. We use a lot of information from the Cialdini Institute.
That's correct.
On this particular topic.
Right.
And for those of you who don't know who Dr. Robert Cialdini is, he is a major, major, major research Rambo. That's how I would.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
That's how I would describe it. He is somebody who loves to get in and do research, and he has been doing research into consumer behavior for decades.
Right. It's been social psychology.
Yes.
Yes.
And so he figures out why people do the things that they do. Why do they buy specific products? Why do they make the choices that they do? Right. And the research that he did helped him to create this theory on influence. And he talks about the different principles of influence in his book.
Influence, the Art of Persuasion.
Yes. And from that is where we get a lot of the material for the speaking topic on influence, and small changes can have big results. And there are a lot of ways that you can incorporate tiny little changes here and there, either in your business or with what you're doing personally, that can yield big results. Right. And that everybody wants to know that, because if you're trying to make huge changes, it takes too much time. It's way too much energy. You've got too much invested in it. Small changes, on the other hand, that's something that is easy for people to incorporate.
Right. Making small changes, that's pretty simple. And when you can make small changes that are going to get you those big results, all the better, because it doesn't take that long. You know, for example, one of the things that we changed after, going through Dr. Cialdini's material is he had research on how people respond to certain things. And one of them is there was a company that was putting out a new product. I think it was a shampoo or cleaning product, something like that. And they were looking at 4 different bottles, just the
Mhm.
packaging. What was inside the bottles are going to be exactly the same.
Exactly.
It was the packaging,
Yeah.
because the way you package things
Mhm.
can have a dramatic impact on what people, the decision that they make.
Yes.
And so with these bottles, the only difference between them, everything on the front of the bottle was exactly the same. The color
Mhm.
was exactly the same. The way you open it, all the same.
Yeah.
Was on the very bottom
Yeah.
of the front of the bottle. There was one that had no line or anything at the bottom.
Yeah.
Another one had just a straight line going across the bottom.
Mhm.
One that had a line that was curved down,
Mhm.
and then one that had a line that was curved up.
Mhm.
And they didn't tell the respondents who they were using for the study anything about it. They just showed them the 4 bottles and asked them if they were to make a purchasing decision, they're going to buy the product,
Mhm.
which one would they prefer?
Knowing that everything was exactly the same inside.
Yeah, knowing it's the same
Yeah.
exact product inside,
Yeah.
there's no difference there.
Nope.
My guess is most of the respondents didn't even notice the line
No.
consciously.
Yeah.
Consciously. Subconsciously, they did.
Yeah.
And what he found was that the greatest percentage, now it wasn't a majority,
No.
but it was a bigger percentage of people, they picked the bottle that had the upwardly swooping line.
Yeah. It looked like a
Looks like a smile.
Mhm.
That is the kind of research that he has done. And you will notice with a lot of logos like
Mhm.
Amazon,
Yep.
Who else? Is it Dannon Yogurt? It's one of the yogurt companies.
Dannon
Maybe-
does. I think Yoplait might
But
have
Yoplait
it
might,
too.
yeah. There's more.
Yeah.
There's a bunch more. If you look at companies, you look at their logos, you'll see that upward swoop. It looks like a smile.
Mhm.
When we saw that, we took a look at our own logo, and we realized that the big emphasis on our logo was our last name, Teague.
Mhm.
But the way it was positioned in the logo, the bottom of it swooped down. The top was flat, but the bottom swooped down. And there was another little, I don't know what you'd call a little thing at the bottom.
Line.
And it also swooped down.
Mhm.
So it made it look like our logo was frowning.
Mhm.
People don't want to deal with unhappy people.
No.
And subconsciously, you notice that.
Yeah.
You may not directly notice it, but somewhere in most people's brains, they will process that. And so once we saw that, we immediately changed our logo.
Yes.
And now the bottom of it is flat, that the bottom of the Teague is flat, and the upper part swoops up.
Mhm.
And then the little thing on the bottom, we just simply flipped it.
She flipped it over.
Flipped
for
it
us.
over, and now it looks like a smile.
Yes.
And, could we say with certainty that people have responded better to it? Not directly that we're aware of. But what's interesting is when we point this out to people, we show them the old logo, show them the new logo, they see it
Yeah.
right away.
They do.
They do.
They
It's
do.
so clear once you see it. And it's interesting, but based on his research, people are going to react better to that type of a logo. So that's the kind of stuff that you learn.
It is. And when it comes to that, you don't necessarily have to have it in your logo. You can have it in some of your marketing materials. You can have it on your website. You can have it on product or services. I mean, the description of it. As long as you have some type of smile
Sure.
in there.
Also means that, when you're putting pictures of yourself
Mhm.
on your website, smiling helps, makes you look friendly.
Yeah.
People want to deal with friendly people.
Exactly.
You don't want to deal with somebody who's all grumpy and never smiles. And, it's interesting. I point out to Michelle that there's certain, I'm not going to name anybody because I wouldn't want to make anybody mad, but there's certain people that you see on television. I know there's certain actors, folks, they never smile.
No.
It is the most amazing thing to me that here you have these people who are famous, have everything they could ever want, and they just always look just so deadly serious.
Yeah.
I never understand it. Just because I don't know. I'm kind of like Buddy the elf.
Mhm.
Smiling. That's my favorite.
It's your favorite.
Yeah, I like smiling.
And it's easy.
It is easy.
However, that is a small change
Very small change.
that you can incorporate that will get you big results.
Yeah.
Because people want to be around other people who are happy. They want to be around others who seem to be enjoying life, are not unhappy,
Right.
not upset. Yeah.
And if you're asking folks to do business with you, they see the smile and go, oh, well, they must enjoy what they're doing. And we all instinctively know that when somebody enjoys what they're doing,
They smile.
that they're smiling and they're going to do a better job generally.
Exactly.
It's not always the case, but most of the time. And even if they don't do such a great job, at least you won't mind being around them.
No. Yeah, that's exactly
Is
it.
that a way to put it?
That's exactly it. All right. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about, like I said, this week is what we talk about.
Mhm.
And when it comes to this particular topic on influence, if you or your organization or your team or a group that you belong to,
Mhm.
maybe you belong to a community group like Rotary or to a chamber, or maybe your business or
Or your local, your church,
yes,
whatever organization you belong to.
you would like to have somebody come in and speak. One of the topics that we talk about is indeed influence.
Influence.
And like I said, we talk about how these small changes can get you big results.
Mhm.
If that's something that you would be interested in hearing more about, what could they do?
They could, let me see, they could call us.
They could call us.
Yes.
And our number is 412-420-7975. What else could they do?
They could text us at the same number.
They could.
Yes, they could do that.
So 412-420-7975. Text us. There you go.
All right. They could also go to our website.
Our website. Wow. We have a website
We have a website.
that has that upturned smile and the logo on
Yes,
it?
it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
And what is our website?
TeagueOfYourOwn.com.
ATeagueOfYourOwn.com.
And
There
make sure
you
you
go.
spell Teague right. Teague. It's like baseball league with a T instead of an L.
There you go.
Kind of like, a league of their own,
Uh,
a Teague of your
A
own,
Teague of your own. Because when you bring us in, you get
a Teague of your
a
own.
Teague of your own.
Sometimes two.
Yeah. All right. So they could call us, they could text us, they could go to our website. How else could they get in
They
contact?
could send
with
us an email.
An email?
Yes.
People do that?
They do.
They do. And what is our email address?
Info@ateagueofyourown.com.
Info@ateagueofyourown.com. Yes.
Easy enough.
Easy enough. And then are we out there on any social media platforms?
We are.
Oh
Glad
my
you
goodness.
brought that up.
I'm so glad I did.
We are on Facebook.
Yes.
We're on YouTube.
Yes.
We are on Instagram.
Yes.
And LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Hi, all our LinkedIn people. So yes, we are indeed on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and go out there and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. We
Yes,
would
we
appreciate
appreciate
it. You can reach us through there.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you'd like to learn more about how we could come and do a presentation on influence, on how making small changes will give you big results, reach out to us. Let us know. We're more than happy to come and talk with your group about how they can do that.
Yeah. Sounds
Sound-
good.
Sound like a plan?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right. All right. So next week we will have another topic that we talk about.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what it's going to be.
All right. So until then, have a great week, everyone.